Hi everybody, my name is Mike Rehu and I've compiled this little starter pack for you for the weekend, round 5 of Super Rugby Aotearoa. Round 5, it's the first one of the second phase of the competition. We've had 4 rounds so far, 4 to come, and the top 2 teams will go through and play a final. At this stage, the Crusaders are handsomely sitting at the top of the table. The other 4 teams really scrambling to get that second place position with 4 games to go for all of them. This weekend the Chiefs have a bye, and first game up is Friday evening, 7 p.m. New Zealand time, 3 p.m. Singapore, Hong Kong, 7 a.m. on the Friday morning in London, and 2 a.m. on a Friday morning if you're in New York City. Let's take a look at the starting lineups that have been named for the Highlanders visiting the Crusaders at Orange Theory Stadium. The Highlanders, well, they've had a bit of drama over the week. Coach Tony Brown has dropped 5 or 6 players for some misbehaviour. It sounded like there was a bit of drinking going on, and that wasn't aligning with the Highlanders culture, so they are unavailable and have to play their way back into the squad. So just taking a look at the team, Ethan de Groot has been very, very impressive. Young player, joins Tokolahi and Ash Dixon. I'd say Dixon will be the captain this week because you look at 9, Aaron Smith is on the bench, Fulao Whakatava gets a start. In the core there of the pack, you've got Pari Parkinson, who's very impressive, and another experienced player in Bryn Evans. Great to see him play so well last week. Got his try off the maul, repositioned himself in the rolling maul, got onto the ball and over. The loose forward trio, we see Shannon Frizzell getting a start with Billy Harmon. They've been regulars, but the new man who comes in is Kazuki Himino, who will step down to nobody, and if you underestimate him, it's at your peril. He was really impressive coming off the bench last week. Whakatava gets a start. He is looking great and would probably be an early call for an All Black squad position at this stage. Mitch Hunt, Nareki, Thomas Umanga Jensen is another guy who came in over Seal Tompkinson, who has been banned for a week or 2. And Thomas Umanga Jensen was really impressive last week, ran straight and hard. Michael Collins there, and Scott Gregory also gets a chance now to impress on the right wing. Connor Garden-Bishop, good young player with fast feet, very evasive. So it's not a bad team to take on the Crusaders, but when you look at the starting lineup of the Crusaders, oh my goodness, it's business as usual for them. They've made one change to their lineup. George Bridge, who of course, an All Black coming off injury, comes into the team at the expense of another All Black, Sever Reese. Reese has done nothing wrong really, but look at that 15. It's very consistent. They've got a load of players that have played most games. No surprises at all. One of the weaknesses people thought around the squad might be in the loose forwards. Ethan Blackadder played a really great game against Akira Ioane last week against the Blues. Was really impressive. Sorry, 2 weeks ago. Crusaders coming off a bye, of course. Sione Havili Talitui, open side after they lost a couple of open sides to injury. And Cohen Grace, he's been quiet but effective, and of course they've got Fetu Kamo Douglas on the bench. Drummond gets the start over Bryn Hall this week. Moanga, Whainga Nuku, Havili, Goodhue, Bridge, and of course the young sensation Will Jordan. So yeah, it's going to be a tough ask for the Crusaders to get up over the Highlanders. Sorry, for the Highlanders to get up over the Crusaders, that is for sure. But, you know, the local derby is always tough, and it's a pretty good 15 that they've got there, the Highlanders, so don't discount them. I'm picking the Crusaders by about 9. All right, on to Saturday night at, again, 7 p.m. New Zealand, 3 p.m. Hong Kong, Singapore, 7 a.m. London, 2 a.m. Saturday morning, Friday night in New York. And g'day to Ben, who's moving back to New York after COVID over the weekend. Hope that goes well, mate. Let's take a look at the visitors first. The Canes, very impressive last week, of course, sitting with a victory now. And they've made a few changes as well. Julian Savia comes back on the right wing at the expense of Wes Huson. And Blackwell's in at lock as well. So, and also at loose forward, loose head prop, they've made another change too. They've taken Numia out. Fraser Armstrong comes back. Of course, a lot is made of the Blues front row. They weren't that great last week, but Armstrong obviously probably more of a scrummager than Numia, so they're just bringing him in. Scrafton was impressive last week at line out and around the loose. Reed Prinsep, he's come good too. Nice solid player. Duplessis Karifi, one of his issues was discipline, and he's been squeaky clean in the last few weeks. Very impressive, and throws his body around. Savia, the captain. Auburn Ledger with his third game at first 5 in a row. Big injury problems there, but he's been really a sterling performer for them. And of course gets a bit of help at first receiver from Geordie Barrett. Rayasi, he's a gem. Laumapi, look for him to hit hard and also show some of his other skills. Proctor, one of their silent performers as well. Riccatelli on the bench. Omua could be back next week. Well, let's take a look at the Blues team. Of course, they've suffered 2 losses in a row now, and big surprises there. The Big Red gets a start over Aotearoa, which I was picking actually. They were going to give Akira a little boot up the bum, but they made him captain as well. And he's been so impressive and passionate off the bench. What a great reward for Tom Robinson at 6. You see in the front row there, Tuamafasi and Tuinukiafi are starting. Luteru Tolai hasn't been great. It's probably one of their weaknesses at hooker. And Lenny Apasai looked quite good on the bench. Of course, they've lost Kurt Eklund for his judo throws. So they're going to have to make do at hooker there. Looking down the back line again at the top of the line-out, Perifeta, Talia, Rico Ioane, and I've made a change at inside centre too, which I was predicting. TJ Faiani really shored up the defences. Last week, we saw Tupaia just stroll through some gaps at Perifeta, and Plummer left in defence off first phase play. So they brought Faiani in there. Caleb Clark, he needs a couple of good outings too. He's been reasonably quiet, got some good metres, but nothing startling like we saw in past weeks. Sam Knock makes a start. He's come from outside the 23. So Tutu Papali'i and of course Robinson in the loose forwards. Sam Dowie, who performed impressively in his debut 3 weeks ago, gets a start with Kali Tuioti, and we've talked about the front row. So that's what's happening in this weekend's round 5 of Super Rugby. I hope you enjoy the coverage on Sky or Rugby Pass or wherever you see it. Take care. I'll come back over the weekend, hopefully with some more updates for you. But for now, enjoy your Easter and enjoy the rugby. Take care. This has been a presentation of Tahu Films. Da, da, da.